So let you carry my soul. You fight. Hi, Sherman. How are you? Jimmy Hill. Welcome. How you doing, Charlie? Tassan. Uncle Glenn's just having a little coffee here. Just checking out a couple of things. We're going to do a little planting and a little examination of what we did. For those of you that are just joining, this is the beginning of Farm to Table to Soul, season number 2. Thank you, Rob. Thank you for that heart me. Yeah, this is, we're starting this year's season right from seeds. Last year, we only started these lives last year, sometime in May, and I had less than 200 followers at that time. And we went from less than 200 to almost 38,000 and counting. So we're still into Fall into Flavor. Fall into Flavor is our other show that the family has, and we're going to be doing that a little later as well. And that's our cooking show. But for those of you that are new here, let me explain to you what the title of Farm to Table to Soul actually means. All right? The farm part is just Uncle Glenn's garden. It's not a big farm. It doesn't have acres and acres of land, no cows, no chickens, no goats, no pigs. It's just my little place. I live on the outskirts of New York City, and I'm on a main road. So I have a little garden that I've been tilling and working on, well, not just this one specifically, but my whole life. And it's just something that I've learned certain things, trial by error, and I get to share that with all of my followers, all this family. And if you're new here, I'm going to ask you to just pause a minute and hit that follow button, follow Uncle Glenn, and let me be your uncle. I mean, I'm the uncle now of over 37,000 people and counting. So here we are today. We're going to be on for a short while only, and then we're going to be getting cooking later, okay? So I wanted to spend a little time with you, catching you up to what we started just probably about 17 days ago, 16 days ago, okay? And we're going to go through it, and I'm going to show you the progress, and we're going to actually plant some other seeds in my potion. The potion that I use is, where is it? Where is it? Where's my, hey, are you kidding me? It's my, wait a minute. We're not going nowhere until I have my tea. Where's my tea? Holy smokes, did I forget it? It's probably right in front of my face, but, oh yeah, okay. I don't know. Anyway, what it is, it's chamomile tea. Okay, I took a tea bag, okay, and I dropped one tea bag in here and I let it brew a little bit. Now this tea is what I'm using to soak my seeds in, and I soak them for about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I plant them. So I'm going to go through everything with you today, and I'm going to show you exactly what the process is and how far along we've come. All right, so let's start with, I'm going to show you what I did just the other day, okay? This is only 2 days ago. These are cell packs right here, okay? And these are my little pellets they look like this when they start. They're peat moss pellets, okay? And I take these peat moss pellets and I put them in a container like this. Then I just pour water in here with a diluted amount, not full strength, a diluted amount of chamomile tea. And they expand. And I'm going to show you how that's done. It only takes 10 minutes for this little pellet to become a cell pack like this. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you have gone to the garden store last season and tried to buy one plant, okay, it was probably $3, $4, sometimes $5, okay? I got to tell you, what I've done this year is saved, number one, a ton of money. But number two, it's something I've never done before. I have never started my garden from seed. All right. So I did a little research, and I found some good products that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to show you how this all plays out. So these right now were pepper seeds. Okay. These are pepper seeds that I got from my garden, cayenne peppers. So I was in the garden clearing up and cleaning up, and I found some of the peppers. So I have the dried out pepper. I took it out of the casing. I dropped it in here. And these seeds I took, soaked them, and I planted them in the cell pack 2 days ago. Okay? So these are already started. I just wanted to show you. I put a little, this is the actual pepper that it came out of. Okay, this is one of them. And I put it on top just to indicate what this seed pack is. Now I put the little cover on it, and this becomes its own little greenhouse. And I keep it under light. All right, I'm going to show you the light that I use. Nothing fancy. I use an LED light. Now, when you're planting seeds and you're doing it indoors, you want to have consistent, continuous light. Do not oh, there's my choo-choo! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! And a cannonball nectar! Oh, yeah! Oh, thank you! Oh, Nomad! Nomad knows what I love. Oh, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're just waking Uncle Glenn up? Yes! Coffee! And look at see this mug? This is a farm to table to soul mug with my picture on it from different lives from last season. And one of our family members, Arizona Sunshine, who is Mike and Christy, they made this for me. And so what is a more appropriate way to have coffee than doing this with this mug? Ah, yes. Okay, so anybody that wants to see these lives, if you missed anything, you can go to my channel. I can't tell you where it is, but I am Uncle Glenn #2, and all of my lives are up on another platform, all right? But I can't mention it, so I'm not going to. All right, so that's that. So let's talk about the progress. Let's see what 2 weeks, actually 16 days, turned into, okay? These were tomato plants. Now, these right here are my celebrity tomatoes, okay? And you'll notice I have on the bottom of this, I took the seed pack and just labeled it. So this right here is the seed pack. This is 16 days old. From seed, chamomile tea, it went into the cell pack. I had the lid on it until they started to grow. I took the lid off, I put it on the bottom, all right? As soon as I had them growing, and I kept them under consistent LED light, all right? In a temperature that was fairly consistent, okay? I didn't use any heat map. I did use a little I put for those of you that melt waxes, there's like a light bulb and a candle. I put that right in the center of where I had these to give it a little warmth and just to keep the atmosphere consistent. Okay, so this right here, we're going to take these now and we're going to transplant these. All right, and I'm going to show you what I did. Now, here is the actual transplant of these. All right, so we went from the seed soaking in the chamomile tea to taking a little cell pellet like this and soaking it in some water with a little bit of the chamomile tea, which turned into this right here. And then we added the seeds right on the top, okay? And 16 days later, we have these tomatoes. Now, I'm going to transplant these into one of these. I got these biodegradable pots right here, okay? These are all biodegradable. This is where I am going to transplant this into, like that, with some soil. Now, in about 6 weeks, these are going to be healthy, fully rooted plants, and I can take the entire container and plant it directly into the soil. There's no disturbing it. This will break down. I'll probably cut the bottom out to allow the root, but the roots will come right through here. All right? So that's the plan, and we're going to do that today. But before we do that, I want to just back up a little. These are coming out great. These were these plants planted the exact same time, these are my beefsteak tomatoes. And I transplanted them right into here. Okay, I took the whole cell pack, added some soil, and this is what it became. All right? So, I've never done hydroponic. I want to do that though. All right? So let's do this. Let's take this right here. Hold on 1 minute. And nope. Okay. Let me just turn this off. Hold on. I have my I'm not good at the technology of this stuff at all. So I don't know how I'm doing stuff half the time. I really don't. But all right. So let's look at, close that. All right. I'm going to get some muffin tins. All right. I need a couple of muffin tins that I'm going to hold these containers in. All right. I have a couple of muffin tins, and the muffin tins are just going to enable me to put these in there and hold them. That's it. All right. I'm learning with you. I've never done this before. I have never done this before. I am not coming to you like some kind of expert at this at all. I do everything and learn everything, trial and error. All right. And so far, this has worked out well. All right. It's worked out well. The chamomile tea worked. Now, why chamomile tea? I'm sure you're asking. Why? Why do you use chamomile tea? Anybody know? Huh? You can grow this and you can we'll talk about that, about growing in your house in just your kitchen. We can talk about doing that. I always, there's different planting that you can do. I'm doing garden planting. If you're doing container planting, you could go through this whole process. The difference is the type of seed that you get. If you're going to be making tomato plants in containers and either doing them indoor, on your patio, you have to get the right seed or the right transplant that you get at your garden. When you go to buy your tomatoes, Okay, let's say you're not starting from seed. You're going to the garden store to get the cell pack. If you're doing it in a container, make sure that you buy determinate plants, tomato plants. Why? There's two different kinds. There's determinate, which means that there is a determined amount of fruit, there is a determined amount of size that plant is going to be. There's no need for pruning. There's no need to do anything except care for it in the pot, which means give it sunlight, give it water, give it nutrition. And there's going to be a determinate amount of fruit that's going to produce. Now, in your garden, I prefer to use indeterminate tomatoes. So when I go to the store, I look for either my seeds that say indeterminate, or I buy the cell pack in the store that says indeterminate. Why? Because the indeterminate plant that's going to go in your garden or is going to go in your raised garden is going to grow indeterminately. It's going to grow as big as you can let it grow. By supporting it, by pruning it, it can go 12 feet and it could give you an enormous harvest. So it's indeterminate based on how well you stake it, how well you have your root system, how well you trellis it and support it. Extremely important. And we're going to be doing all of that on Farm to Table to Soul throughout this season. And I'm just glad that you're beginning with me at the start of seed. Because come harvest season, the farm part, okay, which is just Uncle Glenn's garden and that's growing, goes to the table part. The table part is when we harvest from the garden, we bring it into my humble kitchen, and we cook with what we harvested. And then the soul part, well, that's the best part, because that is where we go from the garden where we planted and harvest to the table where we cook from what we harvested to the soul. And that's where we sit down and we share a meal with family, friends, sometimes strangers, acquaintances. And it satisfies the body, but more importantly, it satisfies the soul. So that is the whole theme of Farm to Table to Soul with Uncle Glenn. Fall into Flavor, our other show, that's just cooking in the kitchen, where we create things and we make stuff up as we go along. And we'll be on tonight, okay? So today is just about, right now, for the next 45 minutes, we're going to be working on here. And we're going to, without any more delay, let's get going. Because I need this cell pack in order to start some new pellets. All right? So what are we going to do? First thing I'm going to do is put some soil. I have some just indoor soil. I'm not organic. All right? I do as much organically as I can. This is Miracle. This is, I'm sorry, I can't mention it. But it's indoor potting soil. That's where I'm starting these seeds in. All right? And it's okay, even though they're going to be going outside, this is a great way to actually start it. All right? So I'm going to put some soil right in. And I'm only putting halfway up right now. Okay? Because I'm going to show you what I want to do. I want to take one of these right here. All right? And I am going to make sure that it's in here good. And I'm going to put soil right. I want to build this up. Now, this one looks like it didn't take, but we're going to leave it. All right. This right here, the little bit of brown that you see is just the seed casing that's on here. All right. So now I have the cell pack in there. I'm going to fill the rest with dirt, the indoor dirt, and we're going to have this one ready to go. All right. So I'm just going to put this here like this. Okay, I'm not going to overdo it. I could always add more. All right, I just want this cell pack to be good. All right, and I'm going to leave it just like that right there. And that's going in there. Now, we have another one. Okay, this one looks, the seed casing has opened up. It looks nice and healthy. Now, there's only one in here, so we're going to do the same exact thing. I want to get some soil right in the pot, a little bit. All right, not full it up. Don't full it to the top. Okay, now we take the cell pack that we have with the dirt, and we're going to put this right in there, like that. Okay? Now, we're going to moisturize it after. But first, we're getting it set. I don't need to wet this right now. All right? We're going to wet it down consistently because we're going to make a little solution of the chamomile water with some regular water. All right? And that's how I'm going to moisten this dirt up. All right? All I'm doing is, that's all I did. Okay? Take another one. Now, we're going to have to do, now I have one here with 2. That's fine. You can have 2 in there. A lot of people, if they have 3 or 4 seeds that developed in the same pod, they'll cut back on it and they'll kill that little plant. I don't like to do that. And I'll show you what I'm going to try to do. And it actually worked, and I'm going to show you how it did work. All right? Let me just finish this. It's not going to take long. Okay? I'm just getting these together, getting some new soil, giving this an opportunity to grow, expand, and there's another one right there that's got 2 plants in it. And I've got this one here. All right? Now, this is pretty repetitive, but we're only going to do these because I want to show you how I'm going to do some surgery. We're going to do a little bit of surgery on one of these plants. All right? And I'm going to show you what that surgery is going to be. Let me just put the dirt in so I don't have to keep coming back here to get this started. Okay? And I notice I'm only putting dirt in there, so not a lot. You don't need to fill it. You want to put it so that that seed pack is down far enough to get all the roots. All right? So let's get back to this. So we have this much soil in here. All right? We're going to put this right here like this. I'm pushing it down, and I'm going to fill the soil so it comes right up to that. All right? I'll show you. And what you want to do after sometimes you get the dirt and it gets on the leaves of the seedling. You want to try to clean that off as best you can. All right? I'll show you what I mean. All right? See, sometimes you get some dirt on there. So just go gently like that because you don't want the dirt on the leaves, but you got to be gentle. Okay? It's a baby. You got to handle it like a baby. Okay, we've got this one here, right here. And we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm pushing it into the soil, and I'm putting the soil around that whole little cell pack. All right? Then we're gonna make a solution to water these down, and this will be done. Now, this can just stay. I don't have to transplant this again until it goes into the garden. All right? So 6 weeks from now, this thing will probably be that high and nice and strong, and we'll just take this whole cell pack, we're going to dig it right into the soil, and we're going to drop it. All right? I got one more that I'm doing right here, which is this one. And I'll show you everything again real quick, what we did so far, how we started, and I'm going to tell you a little about the chamomile tea. All right? And why the chamomile tea? Why did I use chamomile tea? All right? So we're going to just talk about that a little bit. Okay? All right. So we got 6 of them we just did. All right? We're going to wet these down. All you have to do, I'm going to make a little solution here. All right? So this is my chamomile tea right here. I'm going to pour a little bit of the chamomile tea right into this water. A little bit. Mostly water. A little chamomile tea. The chamomile tea we used to soak the seeds that we're going to be planting. All right? This is used to soak the seeds for about 2 hours. This has been in there about an hour and a half. So we're ready to plant those seeds. Meanwhile, I'm going to take some water. Now notice, I'm not going to overdo it. All right? I just want to get a little bit on there because these plants are delicate. You don't want to flood this with water. You just want to get the water not on the plant, but around it. All right? Just to moisten that soil up a little bit. All right? Not on the plant itself. Okay? I'll show you. You can always add more water. Right now, all we're doing is securing the soil to that cell pack. Period. All right? We're giving it a little bit of moisture. All right? And now we're going to let that sit. I'll put a little more in here, this one. And that's it. All right? This has got enough moisture right now that I'm not playing around with it anymore. This is ready. All right? So this is going to go under a light. And the light that I'm using is an LED light. It's this type of a light. Okay? Right here. I bought one of these. It's a desk lamp, basically, with all different degrees of light. All right? It's an LED. I can lower it if I want to. All right? It's lower. Or I can bring it all the way up. And I can change the color to more of a tungsten or amber color to that. All right? So usually when I'm starting, I want them to have the most amount of light possible. And you leave it under constant light. The reason you want to have constant light with your seedlings and don't let them go in the dark is because if you are giving them light and dark, during the dark phase, these are going to get really long and lanky because they're searching for light. You don't want these to be too tall where they're going to break. So you want to give it under constant light all the time so that this will give you the best root system that you can have. Once it gets to the point where we transplant it, then it will go through its traditional cycles. But we're going to also, in the meanwhile, we're going to be introducing this in 6 weeks, slowly. Now hear me out. Very important. You don't want to go through all the work of doing this, taking care of it, and then come a warm, sunny day, you take this and you put it outside. And you wonder why, what happened to my plants? They died. Very, very, very important that when you take plants that have been indoors growing, you have to introduce them to that new environment of outside slowly over a 7-day period. You want to bring it out in the early morning, okay? As long as it's warm, let it get some early morning sun. Take it back in, okay? And if you want, when the sun goes down later on in the day, 7 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock, bring it back out. You do not want to have direct sunlight on them. I don't care how big they are. And even if you buy them at your garden store, do the same thing. Introduce them slowly because it's most likely that those plants came out of a nursery and a greenhouse. So when you're doing it, you got to introduce them slow. Like a baby walking. You've got to give it a little, just guide it. Let it develop. Let it get adjusted. That's how you're going to be successful. And I learned the hard way. Trust me. All right? And I learned the hard way, not by doing it from seed, because I've never done that before, but I did buy them at the plant store. I had them indoors for about a week because it was a little cool out. First hot day, I put them outside. I lost half my plants. It just it's not good. All right, so we have that. Let's just quickly review, and I'm going to do a little surgery here on these because I have to, and I have to get this done today. See this seed pack? See how many are in here? This is too many plants for tomato plants for one cell pack. Now, I could take it and I can pinch them back and kill the little baby ones if I want. But I did this already once and it was successful. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to cut with a razor around here, and because the root system is not completed, as long as I can keep it somewhat intact, better than killing them, I'll take the chance of them surviving. I did it with these. Okay? See these? I took this plant here and this plant here, and it was the same thing. It was a cell pack with 4 in there. I cut it with a razor carefully, and I made them 2 separate plants. Instead of killing 2 of them, I saved them. I don't know. You don't have to, but I don't know. I love my plants. All right? I need a little coffee. Anybody have any questions real quick before we start our surgery here? Anyone have any questions about anything that I can answer quickly? All right. So let's just, did you see the plant I sent you? The plants I sent you? No, I did not, VJ, I did not. I haven't been on my phone at all. So I don't know exactly when you sent it, but I didn't see it recently. I haven't looked at any of my messages. I was at a wedding on Friday, and yesterday was my anniversary, and I just jumped on the live, but I will look, okay? When you're planting them outside for 7 days, just leave them in the sun, but not direct sun. No, well, it depends. It really all depends on the type of weather it is. If you have a hot day, all right, and you're just introducing your plants in June, I would take them and do it just out of direct sunlight. Meaning that if it's a morning sun, doesn't mean that you gotta put it behind a tree. But you don't want it to have the hot sun of the day, and you don't want to leave it out all day and all night, and then all day and all night. Don't do that, because introduce it slowly to the sun. All right? I just, that's what I do, and that's what I found works. Oh, wow. Merrick, oh, wow. Yeah, listen, you got to understand something. Uncle Glenn is not 2 things. First of all, I am not a chef. I'm just a regular guy, likes to cook and loves to eat. All right? And we do so much fun when we do. But I learned by trial and error. And I'm not an agriculturist. I never went to school. I'm not a farmer. I don't claim to be. I wish I had their knowledge. Everything I know, I do from trial and error. Was introduced to this by my father when I was about 7 years old. And he had a tomato patch in the backyard. And I was about 7 years old, and he brought me outside, and I saw all the, tomato plants that were in the ground. And he said, "Son, come here." He goes, "See that plant?" "Oh, yeah, Dad." He goes, "That's yours. You either let it live or it's going to die." Well, what do I do? You can watch me, you can learn on your own. And that's how I started, with one little plant that he gave me that was mine. There was a whole garden, but that was mine. He didn't do anything to it. And then in the morning, he would say, how's your plant doing? And didn't tell me what to do, And then I remember that the plant was nice and big, but around it, my little area, he would weed, but it would leave my area alone. And so, he said, what are you growing down there? I go, I don't know what that is. And he said, well, I'll tell you what it is. They're weeds. And the weeds feed on the nutrients from your tomato plant. So what do you want to do with them? I go, I don't want them there. And I picked them out. And these little things that you learn from gardening is just, I can't tell you how internal it is about your own life. When you allow weeds in your own life, all right? And I've had plenty of them, all right? And I'm still weeding all the time. But if you have things in your life that are choking you and preventing you to be the best person you can, no, you got to start working those weeds. Take them out. Get them out of your life. Little at a time. Start a little at a time. All right? So that's just my little thing for the day. Have a sip of coffee and we're going back. There we go. All right. So we're going to do a little surgery on this one. All right? We got 4 plants in here. Now, I have a razor. Okay? And I am going to attempt to split this into 2 plants. I'm going to attempt it. All right? Very tight together here. This is dangerous. But instead of just killing them, I'm going to take a shot. All right? I'm a little bit of a gambler. So we're going to do that now. All right? So what I have to do first is I have to cut around the casing, because this is a casing. All right, so I'm going to start to score around this casing here, okay? Cutting right there with the razor, around the casing, so that I can split the casing easily. I don't want to cut through the plant. I'm cutting the back, the bottom. Now this casing's pretty tough, and that's why these cell packs are great. All right, so we're cutting here, cutting. I've got to cut it carefully. I can't just butcher it. I want it so I can separate this into 2 plants. And then I'm going to cut right down the middle of the plants to complete. All right? So before we go any further, I need to have 2 cell packs ready. 2 planters. These are biodegradable. They're made out of probably recycled cardboard. And I'm going to put some soil in this like we did the other ones. All right? And then, that one's good. More in here. Okay. Now I've got to make an indentation here because this has to be all ready to go. All right. So we have 2 of these that I put some soil in. Okay. You ready? Let's see if we can do this. All right. Let's take this cell pack that we have right here. Hold on. Come on. Let me go down. All right. We have the cell pack that we just cut around the casing with a razor. Now I got to split this without disturbing the root system too much. So what do I have to do here? Well, those are pretty much together. So I've got to cut this now right here. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this is going to be dangerous right here. Oh, can we do it? I don't know if we're going to get that done. This one, look. Oh, all right. This one's okay. I think I got this one. All right. Where are we? I don't know. Very delicate, but I think it's going to be all right. Because I only cut. It didn't fall completely out of the root. And this is what happened to the other one, but it managed to survive. So we're just going to really secure it with some dirt. And then we're going to wet it. And we're going to see what happens. All right? I think it's going to be all right. This one should be all right. Okay? Now, this one, let me cut that off. I don't need this. Let me take that out. Okay. This one here, I've got to keep it together as best I can. All right, get rid of that casing. All right, still together. And now, very delicate. Very, very delicate. Now, I'm going to secure this with this new soil. I think we're going to be all right with it. I hope so. Okay. Okay, got that up. I have to secure the dirt right there. We're doing a little surgery here. All right. And all I'm doing is I'm training it right now. I want it to be upright enough. I'm pressing around the back ends to secure the soil tightly around these, because these right here you don't want them to go into shock. All right. And I think it'll be all right because I really didn't disturb it too much. All right. So we got it. All right. And we're going to now take our mixture. We had put a little bit of our chamomile tea in this water. All right. And I'm going to use this just around the plant to tighten the soil. All right. Just to tighten the soil a little bit. I can always water this later. My first purpose here is to tighten the soil so it goes around the root without it burying in the soil like that. Okay. 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 All right. I'm actually I want that to be more upright right there. So this is why I only put a little bit of soil in at a time so that I can adjust it. I'm going to put a little more soil in here so that it'll be a little bit more upright. Okay, this is an important part of doing this stuff. Okay, I think I got it now. Now I just want to get the dirt off of this. Looks like it's secure. The dirt is wet enough to keep this plant up. All right, and that's it. Now I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that aside and we're going to go move on. All right, I have this one. I got to do the same thing. Oh, I have to do one more. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to put that over there. And this one, all right, I'll do this one on my own later because I don't know if you guys want to really be around for this. All right, what I want to do is show you, we have to plant some stuff. So I don't want to spend too much time on the surgery right here. I can do that on my own. What I do want to show you is now, if you don't have one of these, plastic, you could use get yourself an egg crate. Okay? You can use an egg crate. All right? Because what you'll have to do, though, with the egg crate is if you take the cell pack or the cell thing here, all right, and you drop this in here, and then you put the water in here, these are going to get all wet. So if you have one that you're going to do it with, all right, I'm going to do these in here. Now, I'll show you why these would work, because these are cell packs that are ready it'll fit. And then what you have to do is, once these grow, you can leave them in here to secure them. You'll have to do exactly what you do. Once they start growing, take them out and transplant them. Just take the whole thing out, like that. The whole thing. All right? So, let's put those in there. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how these little cells, I have these right here. Let me get them. All right, we got 1, 2, 3. If you're new here, you've got to follow. Follow Uncle Glenn. All right, join the fan club. All right, you'll get notified when we're on, and we're going to be on Farm to Table to Soul. I'm on a lot in the mornings, and then we'll be cooking sometimes at night. So it's a good place. And if you like a good place, you're in the right place. And if you don't, then swipe on, But we're looking to grow this community to 1 million followers. And let me tell you why, because we're going to have, I don't know, for those of you that had Woodstock, all right, we're alive for Woodstock or we're part of Woodstock. Well, we're going to be doing food stock when we get to 1 million followers. And somebody is going to lend us their property, and we're going to all come with our gear, all right? And you're going to bring your barbecue, whatever. Everybody's going to cook. We're going to share food with one another. We're going to have anyone invited that's welcome to come. And hopefully we'll have some volunteers with some country bands and jazz bands and rappers and headbanging music. And it'll just be a great, great time. And we'll all give thanks together. And then we'll eat. That's my dream, that we can do this. All right? All right, so we have this. Now, we want this to grow to be like these. All right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this right here, the water. All right, you should use warm water. So I'm going to get a little bit warmer water here, all right? Yeah, disco ball. And then we're going to plant some seeds right in there. So let me make this water warm. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Don't leave me. All right? Don't leave me. And I'm going to show you how quick this really is. Doesn't take long. All right? So here's our cells. We took the little peat cells right in there. Okay? You got to follow. I mean, listen, you can have a dream. Dreams are, thanks, M.A. Dreams are dreams. But if you don't do something to make those dreams come true, it's only remains a dream. And I need you to do this. So you need to follow, share, join a fan club, and invite your friends, your family. It's a good place. All right? You'll never be embarrassed here. All right, now I'm going to take the water, warm water, and I'm pouring it right in here. All right? Now I am going to pour a little bit of my chamomile tea. It should be diluted, okay? A little bit in there. Now we're just going to let this sit. This is going to take about 10 minutes. And then we're going to plant these seeds that have been soaking in the chamomile tea. Now, these are basil. These are basil seeds that I dropped in here about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. All right? Now let's talk about the chamomile tea. Why chamomile tea? Well, it does two things. Number one, it's going to soften the seed casing of your seeds to enable them to grow into seedlings quicker. It soaks and it breaks down the seed casing of the seed. All right? The next thing it does, which is the more important thing, is that chamomile tea is an antifungal. So a lot of times seedlings will not make it because of a fungus that may be in the soil. It could be a number of different things. And it gives it a protective, it's like an antibiotic that you're giving your seeds to give them the best opportunity to grow healthy. That's why you use chamomile tea. All right? I've never done the seeds before, but I have chamomile tea in my garden, chamomile plants in my garden all the time, because I know that herbs work well when you're in your garden. They work as when you do companion planting. I'm sure you've all heard the term companion planting. All right? Companion planting has a purpose. All right? And the purpose is that it helps. I have herbs between each one of my plants, my tomato plants, all my plants. And what it does, plants communicate with each other. Now, you're saying, Uncle Glenn, what are you, crazy? They talk to each other? Yep, they do. And you know how they talk to each other? Does anybody know how tomato plants or other plants talk to each other when they're in the ground? Anyone know? By the roots. That's right, Bossy. By the roots. The roots help. That's how they communicate with one another. And by companion planting, putting basil, parsley, thyme, oregano, rosemary in between certain plants helps those two root systems to communicate through your herb. And some people even say that having the basil in the garden near your tomato plants makes them sweeter. I always like to think that's true. But I can tell you right now, it smells great. When I get up in the morning, 6 o'clock, and I walk down to the garden in the summer, and I walk down and I have all the noise around me, and you guys are going to hear motorcycles, fire engines, ambulances, cops, people yelling, horns. And I get down in the garden, and as I'm walking in, I smell those fresh herbs. And then I get in there with my coffee, and I start weeding. I talk to the plants. Sometimes I'm yelling. I'm yelling 6:30 in the morning. My neighbors think I'm nuts. I go, yeah. I get so excited because I see a nice big tomato. Yeah, look at the tomato, yeah. They're going, what? My wife, I call her Mama. She's on, what are you yelling at 6:30 in the morning? What are you, crazy? Look. It's what I do. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. Ah, yeah. All right. So, look. You want to see what the hell? Look how big they got already. All right? Look. That, 5 minutes ago, was that. And now, they're ready for seeds. Okay? We went from this 5 minutes ago to that. All right? So I could add a little more water to these because these have plenty of room to grow. So we're going to add a little bit more. I'm going to take some of the chamomile tea, put it in here, dilute it. All right? And I'm going to pour a little more water in here. Okay? And now we're going to start planting the seeds. All right? So I'm going to be I already planted these. All right? I have these already. These were my hot peppers, my cayenne peppers that I planted. Now we're going to be planting basil seeds right here. All right? I'll look a look, and you can see. Now, when you put the seeds in, any of that float to the top, you want to get rid of. Don't plant the ones that float to the top. All right? Because that's usually a dead seed. The ones on the bottom are the ones you want to use. So I have some right on the top there, and I'm going to let them sit, but I'm not using them. Can you see? I'll show you. Let me get better light here. Okay? And let me see if you can see this. You see the ones that are floating? The ones that are floating, I'm going to get rid of. I'm not planting those. I'm going right to the bottom, and I'm using the ones on the bottom. Okay? Now, these are very delicate seeds. Now, you don't have to worry about putting 2 seeds in with your basil. So I'm going to be putting a few in. And this needs a little more water. I want it to get a little bigger. But I can start planting. Okay? These are expanding, these cells. The cells are expanding. All right? So I have a tweezer. And I'm just going to use the tweezer. I got 1 going right in there. 1. I'm going to put probably 5 in each one. 2. 3. 4. 5. All right? So I have 5 seeds that I just put in here. Okay? Those are 5 basil seeds. When the seeds went in that chamomile tea, they were little dark seeds. Really, really dark. They expanded to almost look like little eggs. All right? Now, that's the casing. The seed is inside that casing. All right? So what am I going to do now? Well, I want to take some of this right here and get the seed in the soil. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be far down. Okay? Just want to make sure it's covered with some of the soil. So I'm going in here, pulling some of the soil out, making sure I got some right on top of the seed. Okay? That's it. Let me get rid of this puzzle. Hold on. Okay? That's it. Now, putting it back. Let's go to the next one. All right, we're going to go right down the line here. And I'm going to have all my basil plants for the summer. Okay, doing the same thing. I'm going in here to the bottom, not the ones on the top. And I'm going to go 1. Putting 5 in. 2. Kind of try to separate them a little bit. Because a lot of these are going right into my garden. And I want them to grow big and wild, actually. But you could take this and you could put it in a container. You know, there's no determinate or indeterminate seeds for, you know, your herbs. All right, they're all basically they're going to grow no matter what you put them in. Okay, so I got 5 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to add 1 more in there, right there. All right. So I know, listen, this is a little bit tedious, but, you know, this is, if you love what you're doing, then I can even use some of this soil. I don't even have to mess with it. I have soil here. So I'm just going to take some of that, put it right on top, make it easier. All right? Do the same thing. Going right to the bottom. The seeds on the bottom are the ones you want to use, not the ones floating. Get rid of the ones floating. 1. 2. Pull this away a little. Get the casings. I get it right in the dirt. Good. 2. 3. And then I'm going to do a few more of these and then we'll stop. Okay? Because I know that it can't be that much fun watching me do this. Okay? You gotta be, you know, tweezers. I'm grabbing this. Okay, good. Okay, got them all. Take a little bit of my soil. Right there, going on top. Okay? Now these once these germinate, okay? So we got 1, 2, 3 done. I'm gonna do if you guys will bear with me a minute, is it okay if I finish this? Or we're taking the seeds, all right? We're putting them 5 seeds. These are basil seeds. We just inflated these. Oh, did I do this one already? No. No. Okay. We took little cell packs and we just inflated them. We soaked them with some water and a little bit of the chamomile tea. Now, these seeds have been soaking in that chamomile tea. They've been soaking in here for about 2 hours. And why? The reason is because the chamomile tea works like a antibiotic, an antifungal, okay? And your plants are going to benefit. First of all, it softens the casing on the seed so that they're going to germinate a lot quicker for you. That's number one. And all it is 1 tea bag. There's nothing, there's nothing really exotic about it. You take 1 chamomile tea bag, brew it, let it cool, all right? Then put it in a little container like this and add some your seeds. Let them sit in there for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and that's it. And then you take them. I have little seed packs here. Now, if you don't have seed packs, these little pellet packs, it'll still work. You just got to get yourself some planting soil as opposed to regular outdoor soil. It's got some of that, I don't know what you call it, that perlite or something like that in it. But it's really for seedlings. So it's important that you get it's important that you have a soil that is meant for seeds. Otherwise, sometimes you just take like garden soil, it's going to be way, way too strong for a seedling. It's like giving a little baby alcohol. I mean, it's just not a good idea. I don't know if that's a good example or not, but boy, these are getting tough to grab. Why? Give me one. Okay, there we go. One out right there. I got that one. Okay, good. Okay. That's good. 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 Okay. A little bit of soil on top. All right. Now you could use, you don't have the soil, you can use, I'm using indoor potting soil. All right. Now they have, sometimes you'll see some that say, soil for seedlings. Get it. That's the good, you can't go wrong. All right. So we're almost there. I'm going a little quicker right now. Okay. Moving these around a little bit. But this was 1 pack of seeds. Now, most of these are going to probably take. Some maybe won't. But it's all right. We'll deal with it. Okay. Moving these around so that they have a place a little bit separated from each other. That's good. Taking a little soil, putting it right on top. Now, you can, if you don't have the soil, you can use the same soil from the cell pack if you want to. All right? But I'm choosing not to. All right, I got 5 more. 1. I want to finish these because otherwise if I have them soaking too long. Everything's got to be done in moderation. All right? And I want to get cooking tonight, make a little dinner with you. So we're going to be on for a while. We're going to be off of this. I got to do a little cleanup. I got to go clean myself up and decide what we're going to do for dinner tonight. I have an idea of what I want to make. And I think I'm going to do it because I'm in the mood for it. I'm going to be making chicken scaparella. But I'm going to be doing it a little differently. I'm doing the chicken scaparella with a chicken breast, peppers, onions, and I'm going to be using some sausage and potatoes. All right, so that we're going to be cooking up. I want to do a dessert. I have some cookie dough left that I want to use. I have some pizza dough left that I also want to use. It's probably, I don't even know if it's good because I made it 2 days ago, but it's been in the refrigerator. We're going to see how it comes out. So maybe we'll do something with that. We'll make a, I don't know yet exactly. I have my pastry dough that I can make my crumb with. And again, I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to do that today. But when our cooking live is not going to be anything exotic because it's going to be starting it a little bit late. And, but we'll have fun. All right. And that's really, it's more about hanging out with you, making some dinner together, talking, laughing. I mean, you guys are just so great. It's just such a great community that we have. All right. And I just want to be able to share as much time with you as I can. As the weeks go on now, I won't be as visible, but we're going to do whatever we can do whenever we can do it. All right. All right. So we got all of them done now. All the seeds are in. I'm going to just cover these right here. We're going to wet them down a little bit. All right. These were little cell packs. All right. And we're going to add a little more water. We're going to dome it. And we're going to let this sit. And probably in about 8 days, 10 days, these are going to all be sprouted. And we're going to be watching for it. All right. So they're all done. Now we're going to be putting in some water right on the top just to solidify everything. Okay. Yeah. This was for my celebrity tomatoes. I'm going to be putting take this off because that's going on that other muffin tin. I have to finish those up later. Okay. I just put that there, keeping track of everything. This now is going to be the little greenhouse for this. We did these seeds, so I'm taking that, putting that right there. And this, my friends, is all ready. Okay? So let's just do a quick review of what we did today. We started with some chamomile tea. Once it cooled down, I put it in a container. I added basil seeds to this and let it soak for 2 hours. Then we took little peat pellet, and we put it in the container. Now, if you don't have a plastic container, you can get these at your local store. I'm not trying to sell you anything, so all I ask you to do is follow. I do this, and I ask you to follow. I ask you to share. Yep, like that. See that? Take these, you can put them in here. And you'll have the cell packs will fit perfectly in here. All right? And then the only thing is you'll have a little harder time. You won't have a harder time. Once they sprout, you're going to take them, you're going to grab one of these, all right? Now, if you don't have a biodegradable one, then you're going to have to use a plastic pot. But you can also buy these in your local store, all right? You're going to fill it halfway up with soil. You're going to take your plant that's grown. You're going to put it in, and you're going to cover it up to there, not all the way to the top of the soil. Leave a lip. Put a little water after it grows to this size, and now these you will take care of for the next 6 weeks. Then we're going to take these, okay, and we're going to plant the entire thing in the ground. We're not going to have to pull the soil out. The whole plant is going to go in the ground. All right, that's going to be not for 6 weeks though. All right, so in the meanwhile, all we're doing right now is planting seeds, germinating seeds, and making some plants. We're probably going to end up saving my cost for all of this that I bought here. I would say is roughly $35, but maybe $40. but I'll have enough for my entire garden. All right. There'll be some plants that I'm going to buy. I'll probably buy some cucumbers. I'll buy some of the other plants that really need warmth. But last year buying plants and peat moss for my garden probably cost me $500-600 easy. So although there's a little bit of a savings. I'm not doing this only to save money. I'm doing it because I never did it before. And I want to learn. I want to learn by my mistakes. All right? So, anybody have any questions before I start to clean up and get ready for dinner? How do you keep squirrels, rabbits, possible rodents from eating? Well, it's tough. Depending on where you live. For me, it's probably easier than most. Let me tell you why, Tricia. I live on the outskirts of New York City, on Long Island. I'm on a main road, my house. My garden, my property is probably 100 by 100, which is a fairly big piece of property, but it's a corner property, so I have lots of traffic everywhere. My garden is only 25 feet by maybe 15 feet, maybe bigger. I shouldn't say that. Probably, 25, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably 20, 30, I'll say 30 feet long and about 15 feet wide. All right? I have moles. I have squirrels. I have raccoons, possum, rats, and rabbits. What I do, if you have a big problem with it, is you get yourself some chicken wire. Now, depending, again, how you're growing. If you're growing in a raised garden, it's easier to keep them out, all right, because you have a natural barrier, all right, and then you can always gate it or, do something. But for the burrowing animals, like the moles that just burrow under everything, the way that I've had some success was to take chicken wire, the very, very thin chicken wire, and dig around the perimeter of my garden about 1 foot trench. Then I put the chicken wire all the way in and bend it like an L away from the garden, not in towards the garden, but away from it. So that a burrowing animal, which is under the ground, is going to hit that chicken wire and it's going to try to burrow through it. Going to go down. It's not going to be able to get in. So that's for burrowing animals. All right, it works. For squirrels and rabbits, I use things that are repellents. I have lavender. I have certain herbs. They don't like the herbs. All right, and even marigolds. So all you can do is use repellents without using something that's going to kill them. You just want to repel them away from your food. And it helps, but it's not 100% proof. Now, deer, a whole different animal. All right, I just started gardening up by my daughter's upstate New York. And I haven't even done vegetables because I think that you're doomed unless you have a really fenced garden, completely fenced with chicken wire. All right. Otherwise, you're not going to have a whole lot of. They eat a lot of things. So all you can do is put things that's going to repel them, like lavender, like marigolds, and sometimes they'll even eat some of that. So you perimeter wherever it is that you want to try to keep them away from, but it's not gonna keep them out. All right, it's kind of a losing battle. So you just got to pick things that they're not going to eat. And flowers. Now, I haven't even attempted a garden up there. That's a whole new learning experience, and I'm not sure how I would go about doing it. But did you guys like this today? I mean, is this something that you would like for me to continue doing? Showing you the beginning of farm to table to soul, the indoor preparation before we get outside? All right. Oh, good. Okay. Well, for those of you that said you liked it, you loved it, or it was interesting, make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. And maybe now these lives, you might catch some highlights, but if you want the entire live, you're not going to find it here. TikTok erases the lives after 30 days, and I'm not allowed to post more than 15 minutes. So my lives a lot of times are 2, 3, 4 hours, and I have them all uploaded elsewhere. All right, I can't tell you where, but the only thing I can tell you is I am Uncle Glenn #2 everywhere, and my lives are now all uploaded, the whole live. So if you miss something and you want to see it, you got to go and, wherever it is, you got to go there, follow, subscribe, and do what you have to do. All right, but I already got in trouble for telling you guys all about that, so I can't do that. All right, and I'm hoping that you will, be able to enjoy the lives, and as we, get the whole full picture of everything we did, because I know people swipe in and swipe out. So you find a spot you want, you can watch it, you can pause it, you can rewind it, you can write things down, and I'm not technologically advanced enough to be a video editor. So this is what you get. I do some editing, but it's very, very simple editing. All right. Anybody else have anything to say? I'm going to be doing some of this off camera, so I'll be working here probably for another 45 minutes to an hour at least. And I'll do it off camera because I don't want to bore you guys. And, if we can get ourselves to, where are we? 55,000? Oh, all right. Let's see. Hey, let's try this. All right. I didn't ask you guys for much. All right. And I appreciate every single tap, every single heart me, every single fan club member. All of you, everything you guys do, my mods that are on here, always working hard to keep this room clean, safe, respectful, encouraging, positive. All right? It's respecting each other, even though we may not agree with everything that we do. It's a good place. And if you don't like that, you can swipe away. You can always come back. All right? We'll always welcome you as long as you're positive, encouraging, respectful, loving. You're in the right place. All right? But if not, just swipe away. There's so many other places you can go to. But if you like that, then you owe it to yourself to follow Uncle Glenn. Just hit that follow button and let me be your uncle. Be part of this great growing community and family that we have. All right? So, I'll probably go off camera and finish this stuff. I have to do another surgery. So, I don't want you guys to have to be hanging around while I'm doing this. And I'll probably see you, what time is it now? 2. I'll be on a little bit early tonight. Usually, I get on around 5 o'clock, 5:30. Depending on how I finish this, okay? And getting prepped for the live, because the lives, even preparation for a cooking live, there's a good hour and a half of preparation before I actually hit that live button. So I'm on Eastern Standard Time. Right now in New York, it's 1:45. I know a lot of you are probably watching basketball, the college games. I wish I was joining you, but I'm here with the family doing what we do best. All right? Yes, it's Eastern Standard Time. You can look for it. If you hit the follow button, you're probably going to get notified. And I'm going to say it's going to be between, I'm going to say around 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, we'll probably be on. And if it's a little later, I'll have it on there. I'll post it. As soon as I get done here, I'll kind of guesstimate the time and I'll be on. All right. So, hey, we're at almost 60,000 likes. Can we get to 100,000 likes before we get out of here? Can we do that? And you want to see how quick it goes when I ask you? Watch what this family does. I just want you to watch this. Watch, I'm going to count. If everybody hits their button right now, just hit your screen. Tap as hard as you can on the screen. Quick, as fast as you can. And watch how quick this family moves when we want to do something. When we put our mind to something, watch. Now, I'm going to ask, how long do you think it could take us to go from 61,000 to 100,000? And why I'm going to tell you the answer? I'm going to say we could probably do it in less than 6 or 7 minutes. All right? And let's count. Now, everybody hit the screen. Now, as soon as this gets to 64, I'm going to start counting and show you how long it takes to get 1,000 likes. Ready? Tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 seconds it took us to get 1,000 likes. 7 seconds. Okay? We have done it in 2.5 seconds. That's how quick we've done 1,000 likes. All right? So if everybody on here, 180 people, hit that screen, watch what happens. I just want you to see how quick this can go. All right? Ready? We're going to count again when it gets to 68. Ready? Hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6.5. We beat it. All right. Let's see. I bet you we can get this down to 2.5 seconds if everyone just hits that screen. All right. Ready? Let's do it again. Look, we're at 70,000 already. 70,000. I asked you this when we were in the 50s. I asked you. Look how quick. What are we on? A minute and a half trying doing this? All right. Let's do it again. I'm going to count again. Everybody hit that screen. Come on. It's fun. Ready? When we get to 72, I'm going to count. Hit your screen. Just double tap. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5! We did it in 5 seconds. We did it. 5 seconds. We got 1,000 likes in 5 seconds. 5 seconds, family. All right, let's try it again. Look at it. We're going to get, I'm telling you, I said 6 minutes. I think we're going to get to 100,000 at this rate in maybe 3 minutes. All right, ready? Let's try it. Come on, help out here. This is fun. I have fun doing this. If not, we're going to we'll call it a day. All right? But everybody just go, how hard is it to do that? I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking for nothing. I'm asking you to join in and have some fun with me. All right? So look at Erica join the fan club. I love it, Erica. I love it. Great job. Great job. All right? All right, here, let's count. All right, when we get to 78. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5, 6 seconds that was. All right, 6 seconds we did 1,000 likes. 6 seconds. That means that we could do 10,000 likes every minute at 6 seconds. 10,000 likes. All right? We've gotten in one of our lives over 2 million. You hear me? Over 2 million in a 3 or 4 hour live. I got it on August 29th. And many times we've done 500,000, 1,000. So, all right, we're at 82. Look at this. Look at this family. Look at this. I said, like, can we get to 100 before we leave? And it'll take us 6 minutes. All right. We've been on 3 minutes. We're almost there. Ready? Let's tap. All right, I'm going to count when we get to 84. Just hit that. Hit it. This is, come on. Well, Uncle Glenn is very competitive. I'm very competitive. So when I set a goal, I like to try to achieve it. And if you help me, listen, we're going to be cooking again later. So this is my fun. Let me have a little fun with you. All right? Ready? Here we go. All right, we're at 80. All right, I got to count again when we get to 86. All right? Let's just see how quick it goes. Oh, that one was quick. Oh, you guys must be hitting it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. We got 4 seconds. We did 1,000. 4 seconds. Look at this. We're going to get to that 2.5. I'm telling you, we're doing it. All right? Oh, my gosh. This is so fun. I don't know. Man, this is my fun. I'm sorry. This is why I'm having fun. All right. Let's do it again. Ready? All right. Well, we're almost at 90,000. I'm going to count at 90. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're still at 6. Come on, we slowed down. No, come on. Well, we got to 4 seconds. All right, ready? All right. Now, wait to 93. 93. Just hit that. Let's see. I want to try to get to 2.5 seconds again. I know where the people have gone. I'm done with this. But, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Oh, and we're almost there. We're at 90. We're at 95. Ready? All right, 96. I'm counting. Actually, I'm going to count at 96 until we get to that 100. And I want to see how long it's going to take to get to 100,000 likes. And I'm going to start counting at 97. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18 seconds! 18 seconds! Look at this, we did it! Family, you did it! You did it again! You are just unreal! It's unreal! I mean, I love you guys. I'm the one that's blessed here. I'm the one that has the most fun. I have the most fun. Doing all this stuff is fun. It's enjoyable. But this is what I love. I love you guys, man. I'm so thankful and grateful for every single one of you. All right? So we're at almost 2 o'clock. I'm going to finish what I'm doing. And then I'm going to clean up. And then I got to go wash up. And then get the food ready. I don't know exactly what I'm going to cook yet. But I'll see you in a couple hours. So make sure, if you're here, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your fingers, and let's have some fun tonight. All right? We'll have some dinner together. All right? So I will see you in a little while. Thank you for doing that. I love you all, and I will see you again shortly, God willing.